Hey everyone, it's Austin Solomon, the Solomon Group at Coldwell Banker, doing a quick episode of The Real. Today we're talking about for sale by owners, right? Pros and cons of selling for sale by owners. With the market being hot right now and the ease of selling a property being evident, right? It's not that difficult to sell a property if there's lots of buyers for the home. It may be tempting to sell your home for sale by owner and to save that commission, right? That's the main reason why sellers would sell a home for sale by owner, is to avoid paying the real estate commission, which is understandable, right? The real estate fees, I understand, they are significant. That's the most expensive part of selling a house, is the commission. So if you can save that, right, that's a reason that someone would want to sell it on their own. The point that people have a hard time understanding, and what I see in this business is, the reality is that the buyer that purchases the house, right, and the price that you sell the house for is not fixed, right? Let me say that again. The price that you sell a house for and the buyer who purchases it is not fixed. There's no one buyer for your property, and there's no price that it's gonna absolutely sell for, right? There's variables that go into who buys it and what it sells for. The biggest variable is how many people are seeing the property, right? And that's the biggest difference between selling it for sale by owner and selling it with an agent. For sale by owner has very limited mediums to sell a property on their own with. Like, you have a yard sign, you can put on Craigslist, you can put on Facebook Marketplace. There might be a few other one-off sites, right, and places that you can place it, but it's not going to hit the full reach of the marketplace. Whereas an agent, if it's properly marketed, right, they can hit all of the major websites. They can network with a group of agents, right? It's going to go to all the real estate agents who work with 90% of the buyers in the marketplace, right? So it's hitting all of those buyers. That's the biggest difference. So by selling it for sale by owner, you're going to lose a lot of buyers or potential buyers for the property, right? And so that's the biggest thing, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say for sale by owner, you have 5 showings on a property. And if with listing it on the market, let's say you have 15, right? Well, there's a very good chance that maybe the buyer who's willing to pay the most for the property, who loves the home the most, right, and who's going to give you the best offer, maybe they're in one of those 10 buyers that wouldn't have seen the house or wouldn't have scheduled the showing if it was for sale by owner, right? That's just the reality. So that's the biggest misconception about selling for sale by owners. If you believe that, hey, the price that we sell for is fixed, right, and the buyer who's going to purchase the property is going to be the same whether I list it for sale by owner or as I work with an agent, right? That's not the proper thinking. And it certainly has displayed itself time and time again, right? When we get multiple offers on these properties in the way that the market is right now, there's a lot of offers that are okay or decent, and there's some amazing offers, and there's always that clear winner, right? So a lot of times sellers in this market might have 5, 6, 7 offers to pick from, right? There was one just the other day that had 21 offers on it, which is the most I've ever heard in this marketplace. But there's a vast difference between those 21 offers, right? Is there a chance that maybe some of those offers wouldn't have came in if it was for sale by owner? The answer is yes, right? It's just statistic. It's just odds. So as a seller, you have to ask yourself, okay, am I potentially leaving money on the table by not putting it on the market and getting the full potential of all the buyers in the marketplace, right? That's a question you have to ask. So you have to weigh the pros and cons, right? I would say in general, hiring, a real estate agent and getting that full exposure is going to cover the majority, if not all, the commission. And in some cases, right, sellers can really benefit when you get in multiple offer situations and you get some ridiculous offers. So that's the gist, right? That's just talking about it from a financial lens. Then there's the fact that, hey, when we get an offer accepted, right, what about the agent should be able to guide me through this process, right? It should be a little less stressful with an agent than selling it for sale by owner, right? Someone who's been in the process many times, they're going to take some work off of my shoulders, right? The burden is now on them to kind of perform and to make it as smooth as possible. So that's another thing too, is what is someone's time worth? What is someone's energy worth, right? Obviously, as a professional in this industry, we should be able to guide you through the process, and when problems come up, help you navigate the process so that you can, and you spend time enjoying what you want to do, right? And spend time focusing on the things that you want to focus on, right? This is our gig. This is what we specialize in. So again, just some of the pros and cons of selling for sale by owner, just to drive home that point, right? Who you sell your house to and the price that it sells for is not fixed. It's going to vary drastically based on how well a property is marketed, the mediums that it is exposed to, right? So if you sell your home for sale by owner, could you potentially win? You certainly could, right? But could you potentially lose? You certainly could as well.